No, no one's hearing you. Your thumb's up there. You were good before, and now I don't hear anything. What is up? Super co-host, having some challenges with the audio today. I don't know. Let me see if there's anything on my side that I can fix. All right, I will check real quickly, Lewis, but I don't think. Let's see here. Audio. Oh, everything's correct on my end. Well, we were working before we got on the air. Isn't that interesting? Can you just test your mic on your side? Just hit the audio options in Zoom and then pop it up and just see that it's working. Who's going to remind us that it's Mercury retrograde, huh? Who? Who is going to say? You know, we were talking just before the show and everything was perfectly fine. Not sure what's up.
Boom.
There he is.
Boom, bada boom.
Got
me?
Yeah, I got you. What happened?
All I did is pull my mic closer. So this new one with the USB, I've noticed is really sensitive to movement. So when I move it, sometimes it gets jacked up. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to tie down the wires. But since I'm going to be gone for a month and a half soon, maybe I just won't mess with it at all.
We don't mess, baby. We just go forward. That's what we got to do from here. How are you, my friend?
Oh, good. Thank you for asking. So in regards to the Billy Joel song, but I love Billy Joel music, by the way. I definitely, if I believed in the word fan or groupie, that would be me. Now, that song, if I remember, was written about 40 years ago.
Yep.
84-ish, maybe, somewhere around there. And I watching the video, and I'm just going, wow, how relevant is this right now?
Bingo. Yep.
Right now, which makes me sad, to be honest with you, because that means we haven't fixed this thing. But at the same time, we know we are fixing it, right? So thank you for playing that song. By the way, all credit to Robert today. I spent zero energy putting together the show. I've been doing other things. Robert's been awesome. So I'm sure it's going to be amazing. I already love his headline, Chicago fail. I'm like, that was awesome. So
we're going to talk a lot about the DNC and all of that. But before we get started, we want to just give a little accolade to our sponsor, Matt Geiger at Verity Metals. If you want to find out about investing in gold and silver, converting your IRA or 401k to a gold back instead of dollar backed and stock backed, maybe you want to have a conversation with him. You can reach him at 480-717-9081 or just go visit him at veritymetals.com. And he's easy to talk to. He's a really cool guy. It's easy to talk to him. No hard pressure sales. He's not going to twist your arm to force you into anything. You have to be in agreement before he will move forward. If you're not in agreement, he'll go, this isn't for you. But he's that kind of guy, which we love.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's that kind of guy.
He's that kind of guy. Exactly. All right. A couple of things we can start with, but I think I want to start with this one. Let me jump ahead here on my little stack of stuff. Because this was the more shocking story that came out during the DNC convention. The DHS quietly announced during their convention that they've lost track of. We've been talking about 85,000. That's the number that's been out since 2021, and now all of a sudden today we get this number. And of course, the DNC is a great distraction, so this is going to get buried. I don't know about you, Lewis. This should be front page news everywhere.
Wow. Yeah. It should be. It should be. And it's heartbreaking. Okay. I'm pausing because
I know.
I just got a phone call. I was just on the phone with somebody that thought he should connect with me to confirm something, and because of the movie Cages. So I'll give you some information that comes from an extremely reliable source. It's a good news, bad news story. I cannot go into detail, but I've verified the facts. Less than a year ago, there was a major military operation. I can't discuss the state, where they recovered over a thousand, I'm sorry, a little under, sorry, 1,000 children.
Wow.
If you want to ask about the perpetrators, all I can say is every single perpetrator that was on the ground did not see the light of day the next day. So that was handled. And then they put them on a specific base to protect them. CPS, here's the sad part of the story, CPS went out and tried to get the kids. And this particular military branch said, good luck, you can't have them. We got them taken care of. And CPS had no jurisdiction to try to get them off the base. Now, that being said, they didn't have any room for these kids. So they found a very reliable place to house them outside of the base. And before these people that were running the show there could even do anything, CPS already got court documents and took every single one of the kids and put them in the system. And now they cannot be found.
So that just confirms the story. It's you're talking just about under 1,000, but here's 291,000. This is a well-oiled machine. This is not something that just happens, right?
No, this is intentional. Now, I'm not saying that the CPS trafficked any or all of the kids. I'm saying though that there's a mechanism inside the CPS in virtually every state, a well-oiled machine that gets paid off of running these kids through the system. I'm sure several of them got trafficked, and several of them never saw their parents, and several of them probably ended up in foster care, and maybe several of them are fine right now too. It's sad though that they know their mechanism's all about money, not the kids, right? So it's really sad to be put in position. So the good news is there is a true apparatus, and I've been in contact with others completely separate from this entity. I hadn't heard from this guy in probably 6 or 7 months, and we just happened to connect today on 3 issues that are all very relevant right now. And I was like, wow, and he goes, I needed to talk to you about this. So I go, great. I said, I do my best work on the toilet. Let's talk. So
I thought it was in the hot tub, but okay, maybe we got to update the list here.
So if y'all are not familiar with the way the CPS system works and how it's really not out for the children, it's a large section inside of our movie Cages. Just go to screwbiggov.com and go down and click on Cages, or go watch cages.com. You really need to see this film. It'll be very, very enlightening. And the reason why he wanted to talk to me about it, because he said he's always been involved, or for a long time been involved in this, getting information. But the first time he ever heard anything about the involvement from DCS or CPS was from my film.
Wow.
So that's why. So when he got confirmation on this, he just got total chills and had to contact me. Actually, ironically, I was contacting him today, but he called me back. Anyways, so this is another step, guys, that we have to understand. You could have 2 things going on at once, and this is what we've been trying to tell y'all. Everybody that's wearing your frog mask and eating your popcorn, right? We're trying to tell you that the war is on, but the war is not won. There's work to be done. This is why we're going to do the Unity Tour. There's work to be done. And it's up to we, the people, to ante up and kick in to take this over the finish line, right? So this, I hope, motivates you that, wow, we really do have people working in the background doing great work, right? They are. I had another call yesterday that, again, I can't discuss. I'm not this secret guy or anything. I'm just telling you the truth. We'll have information that's going to be breaking in the next couple of weeks that will blow you away. So the good news is there's great, wonderful, wonderful patriots We know they're working in a divine realm and getting this stuff done. We know that. There's also a bunch of baddies that are still out there that we need to take care of, right? So how do we do that? It's up to we, the people, to get the word out, to step up, to stop saying no to all crazy shenanigans within inside your city and community. So I don't think it's ironic that you have that story, which I knew nothing about, Robert. You can verify that. I had no idea you're going to say that story. But I just got off the phone with this guy. I was telling you a little bit right before we went on, and you're like, okay, wait till you hear the story. I'm like, wow. So I didn't want to interrupt you, but I thought this is important information that should help motivate people and activate people at the same time. Because I think I worked very hard, but it just takes me to that next level after getting off the phone with this gentleman.
It
So
really is,
credible
yeah.
to me.
I felt the same. That's why I grabbed that as story number one today. It's something we need to be talking about. I mean, you can't continue with this, and now you've got the Harris Walls team, the most communist team ever to be to be chosen, or which should we say installed as a candidate for president of the United States, and under Biden Harris, this exploded, absolutely exploded. So if they were to get back in, this would continue. So if there's nothing else that's going to motivate people, and this really needs to be out there, we have to be talking more about this because, guys, this is more than 250,000 children, unaccompanied adults. Where are
Yeah.
they all coming from? They're coming from all over the world, and they're bringing them up across the border, dumping them off, and they're taking charge. Where are they going? We don't know where they're going. There's nobody following up on any of it. Oh, there's too many. It's too hard a problem. It's up to
So
us.
I think we noticed it was probably about 4 years ago that maybe even more, there was a big push for saving the children protests and so on and so forth, right?
Hmm.
And there's a bunch of podcasters, they were all about saving the children. And I struggled because I was always trying to keep that narrative in the forefront, right? And I was watching podcasters just drop the narrative like it's like it was fixed all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting too. But so that was one of the reasons why we did the movie Cages, because it needs to stay in the forefront. And I was blessed that a lot of podcasters said, okay, they got re-energized with that and they put it out there. So kudos to them, because a lot of people were staying away from that subject. I'm saying this because I have a feeling, or I know, I would say within the next month, and probably a lot on the Unity Tour, because some of this is going to be our focus. I believe this topic is going to come to the forefront again, which I absolutely am looking forward to. What I'm not looking forward to is the Republicans trying to use it as a bludgeon against the Democrats, because I can tell you, based on evidence and our findings, the uniparty Republicans are more involved in this than the Democrats.
Well, that explains
Not
why it's been covered up.
exactly right. And
Right.
so they're put in there to act like Republicans because they can hide this. And the evidence is overwhelming.
And if that doesn't get you angry, where the heck is your moral compass? Did the needle fall
Exactly.
off? What happened?
So true. And
Oh,
we're not laughing at the subject. We're just laughing at the uh,
the metaphor.
information. Yeah, it's very interesting though.
Well, at the DNC, they opened it up with the national anthem. And guys, I apologize for your eardrums if they pop when you hear this, but oh my God, this is horrible.
It's a
Oh,
good one.
say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad strides
I can't.
Ah.
It's so bad.
Well, it's weird because somebody recently told me the Democrats have all the talent.
Oh
I
boy.
don't know about that. Not after listening to that, right?
Oh boy. And there's one of them not even singing. She's just got her phone and she's videotaping. It's like, hello. It's like, what's your role on stage? And she's filming the audience, which is weird because They should have been the focus. You know what I mean?
Crazy. Hey, real quick, somebody's trying to get a hold of me. I'll tell you, Intel Vets, you can get a hold of me at screwbiggov@protonmail.com, screwbiggov@protonmail.com. You said you're a friend of Derek Johnson. He also can get a hold of me on your behalf. So if you guys need to get a hold of me, screwbiggov@protonmail.com.
And understand that Lewis, right before leaving for the tour, about a week and a half out now, has got a mountain of emails. He doesn't even respond to my emails. He's so busy. So it's
Yeah.
not like I have
But
it in. And people contact me, Rob, can you put me in touch with Lewis? I go, no, probably not.
but that being said, if you feel it's urgent, just write urgent or put some asterisks or something in the subject line. And I do my best. In fact, I'm taking this weekend to go through a lot of emails because I need to clear my plate before I go on the tour. So, Rob, you're right, and apologies from me.
Silver coin enclosed. That would be the perfect headline. That would get your attention.
A good one.
Do
A
not
good one.
bend.
Oh, that just reminds me, I need to send out some silver coins. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we always have something fun to do. Yeah, the DNC is a fail. I think the numbers they're showing 22% lower than it was in 2016. The viewership is really, really down. They had to pay people to show up. You know what I mean? It's kind of a different kind of game. And I got to tell you, from what I see, these people are obsessed with President Trump. I found this this morning as I was driving around. I saw this on a neighbor's yard. And the only thing that they really stand for, this is their campaign slogan. I mean, come on.
Or they could have just put a picture of an abortion there.
Yeah, literally, right?
Even a late term abortion, because now they're not even backing off of that message.
They're not.
I'm like, okay, so a few years ago they would say abortion, and then they'd say, well, but not late term, right? Because of all the issue going on in Virginia. And now they don't, they're just like, any abortion, let's do it. Let's do it on stage. I mean, we it's all about, but they won't. It's funny, the pundits say reproductive rights, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I'm sorry. Reproductive. Okay, wait. Aren't you producing a baby in the reproductive system? And there's something I'm missing here that would include abortion.
Yeah.
It's just, it's the manipulation of the word is purely satanic. But anyways, that's very interesting. And then in adjunct to that, they will not say now that we don't believe in late-term abortion. It's like wherever they can get the vote is all they care about. And I guess there's 4 or 5 people exiting the womb. So, it is sick.
It doesn't even begin to make any sense, any of it. It's just kind of crazy to see it all. But the Dems are truly, truly, bam, right?
So you said that was the National Satanic Convention? Is that what
that
that
was?
was?
The National Satanic Convention, and they're having a lot of fun, apparently.
Yeah, it's the NSC. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Okay. Wow.
Oh boy, they can't seem to get Trump out of their head. Trump derangement syndrome here. This is on the first night. They mentioned Trump 147 times. What's more important, Trump or the economy? 27 times on the economy. How about the border? They mentioned that 8 times. How about crime? Crime out of control? Only 6. How about prices? Only 5. Inflation? Only 3. Look at their priorities. It's insanity.
That's amazing. It's amazing. Alan, what's 147 mean? It's got to mean something. They mentioned Trump 147 times. Yeah. Holy moly. So yeah, it is the anti-Trump party right now. That's so what they're running on is somebody's hate of another individual. I don't think that drives people to the ballot box very much.
There is no policy. Wait, she's the candidate now, but there's still no policy. What platform is she standing on? I'm not Trump. There's nothing else. What else could it be?
Well, it's interesting. She goes, I'm not Trump, but I'm going to fix the economy. I'm not Trump, but now we're going to work on the border. I'm not Trump, but guess what? We're not going to tax your tips. It's like, let me steal his talking points and not have a platform at the same time. It's wacky. It is wacky as wacky can be.
Yeah, and it gets wackier when you consider she's been in power for 3.5 years, and under her and Biden's administration, all of these things got a hell of a lot worse. And how do you walk away from that record? You don't. You deflect. You go over here and you say Trump is a bad guy. Yeah, orange man bad, orange man bad. Okay, that's going to get you this many votes. We know there are people who are going to hate this man no matter what. He could give them $10 million and they'd still hate him. You know what I mean? There's nothing, absolutely nothing he can do that's going to change their mind. Those will vote for Harris. But it's kind of funny when you think about how crazy it is when you look at the Harris supporters. Let's go on. It's a bunch of police telling go burn those shirts. I love it.
That is awesome.
So yeah, Benny Johnson does a great job there, man, in the street right around the DNC and asking those kinds of questions. It's like, so what's your favorite part of Kamala Harris? Don't use this. He can't answer.
What's interesting is people can watch the DNC and watch all their puppets in the audience get excited and be under the illusion that they're being successful, which it's interesting. So what I did is I decided to, during the DNC 2 days ago, I went to the AP, which is not a conservative a news network, right? The Associated Press. And I decided to look at the chat because the chat will really tell you what's going on.
Right.
90% were pro-Trump, anti-Kamala. So that would indicate that their viewers were also the same. So there's probably more conservative viewers watching the DNC than there are Democrats, which I find very interesting. So there's people that get triggered and thinking this is some big deal, right? Well, the first thing you're going to do is you need to step back for a second and breathe. Because I'll tell you this, you could have the absolute best movie ever, but have nobody watch it, and it has zero impact. Okay, so people are watching this and they're like, oh my God, they're like, other than those singers, they're like, their performers are so good and they got so much energy, and look at the audience. And now I'm suddenly afraid. It's like, okay, if nobody's watching it, it doesn't matter. It's almost like if the tree falls in the forest, doesn't make a noise. Who has a clue? Because nobody's watching the Democratic National Convention except conservatives, ironically.
True. Yeah, well, there was Rasmussen was on Bannon's show this morning, and they only had a little bit before they clipped off and went to a news conference, and he released a poll that nobody else had, and what it said was when she was announced as the candidate, huge spike, went straight up, and then it dropped, and then it continued to drop, and where it is during this convention is crazy. Trump is like a rocket ship straight up, and she's a rocket ship without any fuel going straight down. I mean, the differential is up here, down here. It's crazy. So I wanted to capture that clip. I wasn't able to grab it today, time being a factor this morning. But, you could just look at that and say, there is no support. It's totally false. And during a convention like this, you're going to see a little bit of a bump because all the media is talking about it. So it feels like there's a little bit of bump. It feels like there's something going on, but there's nothing supporting it.
Yeah.
So
you're right. You're right too. And who's watching the media? The same people that were being interviewed on the street that are pro Kamala but have no idea whatsoever. Because they are literally lemmings going off the same cliff together. They don't know any information. It's like, oh, what are we supposed to do, George Shaw? That's what we're gonna do right now. It's crazy, but it's the MK Ultra effect. But we've been groomed through this to get to this point. Now it's our job and other people's job, which we are waking up to deprogram friends, family, and each other. And no, everybody, I know it's hard, right? But do you think it's harder on the abused and used for organ harvesting? So I don't feel sorry for you. I don't want to hear it's hard on you, honestly. I don't want to hear that it's hard on your family. I don't want to hear that it makes you uncomfortable. I really could care less. We're talking about the end of the world as we know it. Zero hyperbole there.
Yeah.
If we don't take our country back, the world goes the same way and everything's lost. So no, I'm not really concerned about your knee surgery and not enabling you to get somewhere. I'm not. Be in pain, get on the computer, put out some more social media, and let's take our country back. So no, I'm going to be harsh on this. So maybe I'll lose a lot of followers. I don't give a damn because we are in a war and it's time to win. And what I've been hearing a lot lately, and this is really starting to frustrate me, and this is probably the genesis of this conversation, is there's a huge victim mentality out there, right? And their story is more important than getting better. Their story is more important than moving past it. Well, I'm sorry, somebody has a story that's worse than you and is still progressing forward. I guarantee it. I just saw a phenomenal interview. I think his name's Nathan Reynolds, but anyways, on Michael Jacobs' channel. Amazing. And I haven't watched interviews very much. This is the best interview I've watched in years. Amazing. Everybody, I would say, go watch it. This guy has been through the shit. And his head is held so high. He believes he has divine protection and he works his ass off to get things done. So excuses are just that. We all have a horrible paradigm. Many of us have gone bankrupt. Many of us don't have any, and can't even put food on our table sometimes, right? Many of us, I know, I lost 3 children from this, and I have my stories, but my stories I'm using as a motivation, not a detraction of what I can and can't do. Guys, this is for the kids. This is for the nation. We have to step up right now. We have to. Don't let your story be more important than the progress. Okay? We all have our stories. And I'm not diminishing anybody's story because your personal stories could be horrendous. I can tell you there's probably somebody out there, though, that is worse. I know a very, very prolific Christian with no arms and no legs, and he has found a way to work through it. Right? We've got this, but we have to come together in unity, right? And make the story of the children and our future the most important story.
It is said in the law of attraction that you tell the story the way you want your life to be, not the way you don't want it to be, because that is manifesting, right? And it's really important that we start getting onto that bandwagon and start looking at things, how horrible they are. And that's why we try to bring a little levity to this show. It's just try to kind of laugh at it a little bit. It's not because it isn't real. It's not because it's not, dramatic. It's not because it's not, there's some bad stuff there. But if you can raise the vibration around it, then it's not as impactful. And that's what we want to do, is sort of tell the story in terms of the way we'd like it to be. And I always keep thinking about, okay, imagine this country now, no FDA. How about autoimmune diseases? Gone. How about diabetes? Yep. Gone. I mean, this is the kind of thing that I focus on. It's like, this is what keeps me going, is that vision of what could be. And, you look at these people in the street, and they are exactly what I've been telling you guys for the past 3 years now. When you start talking to the other side, you start asking them questions, they can go nowhere more than what they hear on the news. Mm-hmm. It's superficial at best. So don't be afraid of it. I mean, you're here, you're being educated at a deeper level. We don't say we have all the answers, but we certainly like to give you a little bit of education on a deeper level, that you can go and have a conversation with somebody on your side, and you could ask them the questions, and then zip it. Don't even have to say anything. They will talk themselves out of it on their own. You don't even have to fight it. It's amazing. So
they do. I agree. And we've got this. I mean, the momentum is definitely starting to be at our back, which is just beautiful, right?
Yep.
But ultimately, Uh, what's more powerful? A story of somebody that's went through just a bunch of tragedy and kind of just lives their life until the end, whatever, or a person that goes through a lot of tragedy and then triumphs outside of that, right? Irrespective of the tragedy that they went through. That story is the more powerful story.
Yep.
Takes a lot more energy. It certainly does. And you won't have people going, "Oh, I feel for you," but you will have people going, "Wow, you are motivating. I love you for that." And I would choose the latter more than the former.
If you wonder why you don't have friends and you're feeling alone, just become more positive and you will attract those people into your life. It's crazy how well that works. So, just saying, folks, how you feel is actually a decision. And well, Thumper doesn't really make that decision every day. He always has a good day. I've never seen him moping around sad. I've never seen that happen with that cat. Even when he wasn't feeling well, he was like, yeah, just going for it. I just want to tell you about Pet Club 24/7, the wonderful company that supports our work. And you can go find out more. Screwbiggov.com/pets. You need to be feeding your pets better things. I was in Costco the other day and I saw somebody loading the 500-pound bag of crappy dog food onto their cart. And I almost went up to him and said, "Do you really love your dog?" Don't do this. Don't do this,
I
please. Here's
know.
my link. Go find something that works. Because it's really hard to see. The commercial, pet foods are horrible, full of sugar and fillers and stuff that animals would never eat in the wild. And then you,
And unfortunately, the powerful food and agricultural industry is in cahoots with big pharma. So what they're doing is they created a circle.
yep,
They create the problem, they give you the solution, which is not a solution, by the way, but they create the problem, solution, problem, solution, problem. This is part of the whole Hegelian dialect. This is part of the Freemason insanity, the Jesuit insanity. This is the treadmill that they're trying to keep you on. And it just blows me away. But the good news is we know it now, right? And we're seeing those type of industries and constructs starting to crumble. And if you've ever noticed, a foundation cracks generally before it breaks, right? And that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing cracks in the foundation, and it is going to be epic. And Robert, you nailed it earlier, and I should have said amen. You're talking about that we have to manifest our reality, and it is so important for us to do that.
very much so. Esther Hicks pounds this in all her speeches when she channels. It's amazing. It's always the same thing. Tell the story of life the way you want it to be. How simple is that? And we don't. We tell it the way we don't want it to be. We complain and complain and complain. And it's sort of the habit that we're all in, because that's all the media trains us to do, is look at everything that's bad, everything that's not working. You couldn't have a news program to say, hey, everything's great, nothing to worry about. Who would watch? Nobody, right? So, hey, our FBI's hard at work today. Did you know that?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Did I laugh when you said FBI?
FBI, they're hard at work. They got to find where the maggots came from in the breakfast for the DNC delegates this morning.
That is hilarious.
Oh, boy. But they're going to find out who put the maggots in the breakfast this morning.
Yeah, well, if they wanted to find the maggots, all they had to do is look up on the stage.
That's right.
That's an easy find. Interesting enough, I have to do credit where credit's due. Is I had somebody affirm to me yesterday that there are good FBI agents working inside of the FBI.
Oh, there have to be. Yeah.
I'm sure they know how hard I am on them, and I've never said it's the rank and file. I believe a lot of them are tools and know they're tools, and some don't know that they're tools. It's the upper echelon and probably middle upper echelon, I would believe. It goes down a little deeper of the FBI, but then there is a bunch of people wanting to do good work, and it's hard for them, and they're frustrated. The key, really, I think the key to winning this whole thing a lot quicker is somehow protecting the whistleblowers. Because that's what seems to be the issue. Is I'm almost wondering if maybe I'll contact Elon or somebody, because if we can fund a program that protects whistleblowers and gets the whistleblowers paid their pension in case they lose their pension because of something like this, I think they would be more apt to come out and speak, and I believe this thing would blow up so quickly. Yeah, I'm literally going to try to get a hold of some people with some money. What do you think about that idea?
I know
Everybody,
you
is that
have
a good
Elon on
idea?
speed dial, so I know you'll get it done.
Well, not quite.
That crazy DNC logo with those red bars, there's some kind of meaning here,
Oh,
apparently.
yes, there is. Yep.
Yeah, huh? Look what they're saying. Three red banners was an ideological slogan in the late 1950s which called on the Chinese people to build a socialist state. The three red banners, also called the three red flags, consisted of the general line for socialist construction, the Great Leap Forward, and the People's Communes. They're not hiding it, are they? There's right out in front of us that they're communists and they're going for it, and they don't care what you think. They're going to install their guy, and that's going to be it. Or in this case, their gal.
Well, look, 2020, they had a pentagram.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, they're literally just, here we are. Again, so this is why I think maybe the good guys are running the show here, because it's so blatant.
It has to be something like that, because they're not even trying to hide any of it. And it's like, okay, are you that sure that you're going to win this, or does not matter what people think? And, you know, Naomi Wolf in that interview with Alex Jones was saying exactly that. They said they feel like, what are you going to do about it? They feel like they've got this nailed so much. And you know, I would hate to think that that's true, because I've seen enough evidence to the contrary. But that may well be their attitude at this point.
Yeah. Who knows? It's a lot to swallow, I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. So one of the craziest, I'm going to play this video. I want you to watch this woman's tongue. What the heck? Who's going to tell her? Me or you?
I think that's a reptilian strip club.
What the heck was that about?
So to me, it's one of two things. She either is a lizard, a reptile, which don't be so surprised. They may be out there, folks.
Yeah.
And the second possibility, if you don't want to go that far, is there's some drugs that have people react like that, and they're I believe they are amphetamine based, and that may be something that she was her using. Maybe she was on fentanyl or something. It was just really, really, really weird.
And look at
to
the
me,
projection. The projection is crazy here.
Isn't it? Isn't it? So I think maybe she is a reptile. I know, oh God, where's my tinfoil hat? But geez, that was crazy.
Yes, Donald Trump is going to weaponize the DOJ. Huh?
Yeah. Oh, you mean you were actually listening to her words?
Huh. What happened? He's going to use the FBI as his own personal police force?
Well, ironically, while she was doing the lizard tongue, she was saying this.
Yes.
Amazing.
You know, and when you look at this, you got to ask the question. It's like, okay, you know, what's really going on here? Because if this were real, this wouldn't happen. You wouldn't have these kind of speeches. You wouldn't have these kind of people up there. I don't know. It feels like it's just trying to wake people up, and it's like, are you still supporting Kamala after seeing all of this?
You can't. I just don't see it. But you know what? People buy into this because what they do is they watch the lemmings in the crowd, or are they seals? They're like this. Ar, 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 ar. Oh, this is the best message ever. Ar, ar, ar. What did she say? I don't know. It's the best though. Ar, 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 ar. Right? So people are. I think the only scary part is people tend to watch the reaction of the crowd because they want to keep up with the Joneses, especially the liberals. They don't think anymore. Liberals used to be pretty cool back in the 70s. Now they don't think. They're like, okay. Well, everybody else is clapping. I love who is it? Kamala, or is it Pamela? How do you say it now? Let's just call her Knee Pad Harris. We got this.
Knee Pad Harris, you're the one.
You knew it was coming.
Yep. There's a fellow that they found on the street who actually has some cool things to say about Cami here.
What makes Kamala qualified to become the next president of the United States?
She's not. She didn't go through the voting process. They're scared of the system, but I was all by design.
So how do you think it's even possible that she is now running for president when she wasn't even voted in to be the electoral?
Good question. Because
to be the person.
Because it's part of prophecy. If you look at like Egyptian, Kamala means lotus flower. Out of the lotus flower comes the sun god Ra. So what she's going to bring what he wanted. Back in the day, the sun god, along with Akhenaten, they were the rulers of the dynasty back in the day. They're going to bring economic doom. Because what you have to do, you have to destroy it before you rebuild it. They're gradually doing it now. That's why they got to have these conventions, because they need you to make a covenant with them and be in agreement with them to move forward. That's all this is. It's an exercise to participate in your own doom.
Okay.
This whole system was not built for American citizens. It was built for secret groups to run it, and they're running it. And allegedly, Kamala and all them, they're part of.
Insightful guy.
Yeah.
Wouldn't expect finding that on the street, but hey, amazing.
I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. See, people are waking up.
Clearly.
People waking up. And I know he's a white guy, so I know, we can't. Oh, wait, no. He's actually a different color than Kamala.
He identifies as a white guy, right?
Yeah, she identifies as a black person, which is ironic. Somebody, Marsha Brady's having fun. She corrected me. She goes, Lewis, it's heels up, Harris. And I go, well, I actually think it's knees down, Harris, but we'll have a debate on that a different day.
It depends on the day, I guess. Who knows, right? We never know.
There was a song that was pretty funny. It came from, I think, American Idol back in the day. Some people may remember it. This guy just got on there. And he's like, pants on the ground. Pants on the ground. What you gonna do with your pants on the ground? I think it's knees on the ground. Knees on the ground. Kamal's gonna do it with the knees on the ground.
That's it. That's gonna be the TikTok video we put out this week.
Oh, there you go.
Eric, make sure you capture this one, buddy.
Oh no.
Well, SG Anon pointed out that on the stage there, what letter do you see? Huh.
What letter do I see on the stage? My screen is pretty small, so I'll actually have to look at our feed, which is behind 12 seconds. Okay, let's see. Oh, it's a Q.
Interesting, huh?
There, yeah. Why would they have that little white thing next to there?
I don't know. I was thinking maybe it was a reflection, but if it were spotlights, they would be symmetrical. They would be one on either side. There's not. There's only one. So what's up with that?
That is interesting.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, SG, for pointing it out.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it either.
Not that I can tell.
I don't see any reason why you would have it there.
No.
Interesting. Live, we're investigating. What's that doing there?
Yeah. There's a lot of unknowns, right? A lot of messaging, a lot of comms, and I'm not great at reading them, but this one I found interesting. I found it kind of interesting to have a look at and bring out our opinion on it and say, what in the world is going on there?
Has the illustrious Barack Obama spoken yet?
Has he? No. Big Mike spoke last night.
Big Mike spoke. Oh my God! So my wife actually, I wanted to show her because she's a hairdresser. So I go, look how long her hair is. I don't know if you saw the side view. Her hair is extraordinarily long. And I'm calling it a her because she's like, that's not Big White Mike. That's a female actress playing her today. I'm like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So she said, look at the arms, look at the back, look at the shoulders. I said, very interesting. So we'll see.
And she had in vitro fertilization to get pregnant too. How do men do that exactly? How that works? I don't know. Well, we talk about the legacy media being very negative. Here's some numbers for you. Harris coverage is 84% positive. Trump coverage is 89% negative. And he's still winning by a landslide.
No, is he? Not according to Fox News.
Not well. Fox News is part of this. They should have put their logo up there. I don't know why ABC, CBS, NBC, but also should be Fox because they're in bed with this game too.
They really are.
Yeah.
So, this is an analogy I have, and I only come up with two scenarios. Let's see if you come up with a different one or agree. So, with Fox News and other outlets polling the virtually even or even Kamala knee pad being in front a little bit, right? That is either the bad guys setting it up for us so we can pallet a steal easier, where we go, oh, okay, well, or it's a motivator to get as many conservatives out there or people for Trump to go vote, so we absolutely destroy the other side. What's your thought process on that? Because it's a lie. We know that.
Yeah, it's both. I think both are true in this instance. And the other thing you have to remember, you could have 99% of the vote go for Trump, and they still make Kamala win, right? And it's because we've got computers in play, and you could be standing right next to the computer as the numbers are changing, and you would never know. Right? That computer that's sitting in front of you right now is processing 1 billion operations per second, but you have no idea what's happening in there. You can't figure it out, right? And it's the same thing with these voting machines. It's like if they're being accessed remotely, you won't know. You could be looking right at the machine, right at the screen. You wouldn't even know. So it's one of those things for me where, they just have to make it appear plausible. And I think that probably is the bigger reason that they're doing this. And the secondary win would be for our side to say, hey, get motivated, guys, get out there. Right?
Amazing.
Yeah. Yep. All right. If you have trouble with blood sugar, or if you just want to manage your blood sugar, there's a supplement out there called berberine, and our buddy Lance and I had a great conversation about this a couple of weeks back. If you have not seen it, scroll back in our feed a little bit and go watch it, because Lance always brings a lot of content, a lot of information. He doesn't do a sales pitch. You're never going to see him hard selling his supplements. And by the way, his supplements to him, it's kind of like an afterthought. I have to remind him, hey, Lance, you got this product. Let's bring it up to the forefront. Let's talk about it. He's so into people's health and providing the best quality supplements. So berberine is a great supplement because it's a metabolic switch. It activates AMPK, which helps you burn fat. And it also helps with balancing blood sugar. So it's important, and he was talking about this in the call, that what you don't want in your life is blood sugar spikes. So in the morning you get up and you have your croissant, or you have your cheese Danish and your coffee with 4 scoops of sugar, your blood sugar's, bam, it's going to spike. Too much of that, you're going to start to have all kinds of problems, diabetes later in life. So you don't want the spikes. You want blood sugar to be as level as possible. It's never going to be 100% level, but you want it to be like that. Berberine helps with this. Helps keep the blood sugar manageable, so you don't have these spikes and don't wear out your pancreas before it's time. Don't you want to live into your 70s, 80s, 90s, and maybe even beyond without dealing with diabetes? Diabetes runs in my family. Every single one of my aunts and uncles on my dad's side, diabetes. So something I got to pay attention to. So guess who's taking berberine every day? Yep, that would be me. Go have a look. screwbiggov.com/health. It will take you right there to Lance's website, and you'll find the other products that he's got, including, yummy coffee. I'm going to have your wife on here, Lewis, to talk about the coffee too one day, because I know she loves it as much as I do.
Yeah, every day she loves it.
Cool. screwbiggov.com/health. All right.
Oh, Robert's getting to sing. I'll mute myself and let that roll for a while.
Yeah. We have a couple of things to share. We have a teaser video. Are you ready to talk about that for a moment?
Yes. So this is from our friend Stephen Tenner, right? Which is extraordinarily passionate. He was going through a lot with his dad and other things, and he had a download, a divine download, and he created this amazing, beautiful song. I think it's going to be a top hit. I think it's that great. He teased us. He just gave us a minute of it. He's still working on it, but this is just a minute of it, and he put a little video for us I believe exclusively, but I'm not quite sure. Anyways, it's great. So let's watch a minute of our buddy Stephen Tenor with this beautiful message.
House.
Wow.
When I say it rattles the house, people go, "No, really?" It's like, "Oh yeah, oh
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. Wow. That's crazy.
yeah."
It's like so every day you have at least a 2.0 at your house, right?
God, it's yeah. Well, this morning there was more activity than is usual, and there were a lot of helicopter traffic overhead as well. So yeah, would love to know
Well,
what they're dropping out there. Those sound pretty large.
yeah.
The
Well,
percussion.
there's
I
a
mean,
lot
we're
of work.
11 miles from it. We're apparently 11 miles from the drop zone, the impact zone.
That's crazy then.
Yeah.
Imagine if you were closer.
Well, I keep telling Phoebe, I hope their system doesn't get scrambled and they miss target. We're gonna land in my
Yeah.
backyard. I ain't gonna be too happy.
You have some flying chickens.
Oh boy, yeah. So yeah, that was the morning that keeps you awake. That gets you up early, and they usually go until about 11 o'clock at night. Then they'll stop, and then at 6 a.m. it starts again. So this morning, or right at 6 a.m. Lucky I don't have PTSD too bad.
Yeah, I know. I could see how that could trigger it for sure.
It definitely could. And there are a lot of people out here who have challenges with it. So apparently there's a move afoot to get Steve Bannon out of prison early. There's something going on there that they're not talking about, but they have a play. But this already went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court denied, a stay for his conviction pending appeal, because he's still on appeal
Yeah.
with this thing.
I wonder can you appeal an appeal? I mean, what's going on here?
I don't know. There's something going on. They've got something behind the scenes.
Is it MTG that's forwarding this, or how do you find out?
No, this is Grace Chung. Grace Chung is Bannon's executive producer. So it's coming right from the Bannon camp. So they're obviously in touch. So I don't know, but it looks interesting. I'm open to see something good happen here.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting because the show just isn't the same without him. You don't realize sometimes when somebody does a good job as an interviewer, it looks effortless. Like you look at a Tucker Carlson or Steve Bannon or Alex Jones or something. They just ask the right questions and they're involved in the conversation. A lot of interviewers, what they'll do is they have the questions in front of them. They'll ask the question. They won't even listen to the answer and they'll just ask the next question. They don't further the conversation. And when it's done right, it looks natural. It looks casual. And, the people that he has sitting in for him, they just don't have that gift. I'm sorry, they don't.
Yeah, well, it's all interesting because I think he's part of the messaging group,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I think this is supposed to happen this way for a reason. I believe the disclosures are going to come out so hot and heavy in the next month. I think our head will be spinning in a good way. I mean, I think it's going to be another after another after another after another after another, and we'll see. I'm not quite sure there's still going to be an election, folks, but I think we should prepare as if there is one, but also know that the steel will be on. It's how we handle it.
It is telling that I sat here this morning looking at the news and I say, well, how does Lewis feel about doing a 4-hour show today? Because there's so much coming out, right? And it's in this direction, it's in this direction, and there's this story, and there's this one, and it's just like, so I've been putting a lot in the Renegade Media Telegram channel. If you want to keep following the stuff that we're looking at, you'll find it there. But there's just so much coming out right now. And if the disclosure is going to come out any faster, I don't know. I'm already sprinting just to keep on top of it all.
It's funny. The first message I saw in chat today is how much they love your channel, by the way.
Oh,
your
you.
Telegram channel. That was the first message I saw in there.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, we work hard at putting content in there, and it's like almost day and night for us. We're just, Phoebe and I are finding the stuff and putting it in there just to keep people informed. And last night, the explosions that happened in Chicago with the rioting and stuff was, it keeps us awake. She's kind of feeling that there's going to be a bigger explosion, come tomorrow in Chicago. So we'll see. We don't really know yet. We would just watch this stuff. It's great to pontificate or predict. No, most of the predictions are wrong from everybody because I believe right now there are just too many variables going on to really figure
Yeah,
out
yeah.
clearly what's happening. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that is unfurling, and I agree with you, Lewis. Is like there's going to be a lot more to disclose here. Fulford is on board with you. He said there will not be an election. I'm still on board with you as well. There will not be an election in November. Neither one will get elected. So it's just playing it out, right, as if it's going to happen. But apparently, too many things will happen between now and then that will shake it up to the point where there won't be an election. So it'll be interesting to see how that happens.
Yeah, it will be. Well, we had one prediction that was right. About a year ago, you and I were right here doing the news, and we talked about is soon to come, the Democrats will be eating their own.
Yep.
And that's exactly what's happening at the DNC right now outside. So I think it was inevitable, if you really can watch the tea leaves, that there's no way they would be able to sustain these lies for too much longer. There's still a lot of people that are still brainwashed, but I'm just watching the contingent of minorities that are coming over to the Trump side and exposing knee pads. And it's absolutely amazes me. It's more every day. It's more and more and more and more.
It is, like you said, that they're eating their own. It's really fascinating to see the Antifa and the pro-Palestine protesters. And now there's some new groups. I heard some new names of groups I'd never heard before that are there. They're all paid. All the signs were pre-manufactured. They're bussing them in. They're giving them their marching orders. They're saying, you guys go over here. You guys go over here. Here's what you're going to say. They give them their scripts and they go. And there was one fellow attacking the police yesterday, and he just went right up to the cop and just hit him, and they arrested him. And what did the other guys do? Did they back off? Nope. They start hitting the police too, because they know they're going to be put in jail for an hour, and they're going to get bailed out. They have a safety net, so they don't care. It's not a deterrent to them. And it was just fascinating to see it. And like, wow, we thought these guys were only after our side, but now they're eating their own. It's really fascinating to see.
Yeah, it's extraordinary. It's a really weird conundrum I'm in. 10 years ago, I was the back the blue guy, right? At almost all cost. And then the more I learned, the more I studied over the years, is I'm like, wow, police are pretty damn corrupt, right? Mm-hmm. And then I said, but there's some great ones and some bad ones. It's almost like, and then when I really started digging into it, and for cages and other stuff that I was doing, I noticed that it's almost a clique within side police departments when they know. The good guys know who the bad guys are. The bad guys know who the good guys are. And sometimes they have to work together, but then they separate and go their own ways. But the challenge I have is the good guys aren't whistleblowing on the bad guys
yet.
And I'm hoping that's gonna change, because in every sector they're gonna have to clean out their own.
Yeah.
Right. You can't count on this channel or any podcaster's channel, and you can't count on President Trump and his team just to clean everything out. They're going to have to clean up their own business. Like the FBI, I think will have to have some, if they're not just disbanded, they're going to have some revolt within inside of the FBI and say, we're going to get rid of all the baddies. Yep. CIA, I think, should be gone. I don't even think they should have a chance, but that's based on some knowledge of their nefarious actions. But I'm thinking that every government entity is going to have to clean up themselves. I don't just think they could be a wholesale get rid of them, although I would love that. I just don't see that in the cards.
Yeah, there's a lot here to unpack, and I've been looking at it all and trying to figure out, okay, where does it all fall into place? And you don't really know, because all we're seeing is what is on the surface, right? With these protesters and stuff. We're just seeing that. We're not seeing the people behind the scenes orchestrating and pulling all the strings. And how did they get 104,000 of them into the Chicago area? Who flew them in? Who paid for them? and they're getting paid every day. They're given signs and buses, and there's a tremendous amount of coordination that went more so than even putting on this convention.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to ask the question: is like, well, what groups are really behind all of this, and what's the outcome? Because they're really just going after their own at this point, which is interesting.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating to watch.
It
And
is, really
for,
is. Yeah.
for anybody paying attention, I'd be the first. I will empathize with you on this. It's tiring. And you just do me a favor though. Enjoy the ride, but don't jump on that roller coaster. Pick a ride that's not so bumpy, because when I've
Don't get on the
watched people,
teacups. How's that?
yeah, exactly. Just get spun out and get off.
That's right.
But I've noticed that people that really embrace themselves with every single narrative, they ride that roller coaster, and I think it's very detrimental to their health. It's detrimental to how positive they can be, and it's detrimental to the impact that they can make. And we need people to make an impact right now. So I would suggest don't ride the roller coaster. Understand your destination. Understand you have divine protection. Understand you have a lot of people in your corner. Understand that there's a quantum reality here also, and we can manifest that destiny. And I think if we really think about that, we've got that. But please stay off the roller coaster. I've seen it firsthand, and it's not good. It's not good.
Right. All right, we interrupt this program for a special Unity Tour update. What you got for us, my friend?
I hear there's going to be a tour. I mean, I don't know much more than I can say about that. I hear there's something that's starting September 3rd and ending October 5th. So, wow. I'm excited about this. I'm already tired, which makes me a little nervous, to be honest with you. I was considering, I know I've been stressing my wife out lately. I probably shouldn't say that publicly, but I was considering taking the evening off and just spending it with her, which has been hard for me lately because I've been working so hard, and I'm concerned. I got to get everything done. It's got to be ready, but it's worth it, because I was saying this to somebody today. There's such a bigger picture here. And the picture is much bigger than Lewis Herms. The picture is much bigger than Screw Big Gub. And the picture is much bigger than the Unity Tour, right? The picture is the 5 things that I mentioned for the word unite. I don't know if you have that graphic here or not.
I don't have it queued. I have it. Let me go
You
find
know what?
it for you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So the picture is very, very important. So during the Unity Tour, what we're asking, it's free. So we're going to do 50 stops in 33 days. And yes, 33, because we are determined to take back our numbers. We can't leave the satanic cabal with anything. Don't give them any stronghold whatsoever. Don't let them think they have power in numbers. They don't. They have no power. So you can't give that to them whatsoever. And then I would love to have tons of convoys. You can go to 1, 10, 50, all 50, whatever. Convoy with us. It'll be so much fun if you guys can convoy from one event to another, to another. Can you imagine the attention we're going to get? And when you get there, you're going to expect to have, by the way, I'll prop it up anytime, and I'll change the narrative. So when you get there, you can expect to have songs and so on and so forth. So the way it's going to work is when we show up to an event, and it could be 2 hours, it could be 5, 7 hours. It depends on what time we have in the day, right? Most of the morning events will only be 2 hours because we have another event later planned. We have to drive to it, but we're doing 50. So props to that. 11,000 miles. My buddy Bruce Poppy, our new guy, which is just doing a tremendous job in the background. Andrew will be with us also, right? And then we have a lot love and support from Kevin, who couldn't make it this time, and we have 11 people on our team right now. When it comes to admins, we got about another 20. When it comes to volunteers, I'm sure that'll be well over probably 50 or 100, and then speakers will be well over 100 right now, and pretty much everybody you could think of. Put that up, Robert. Sorry, I apologize. And then, so what happens is, here's the way it works, guys, and this is how awesome it's going to be. When we show up, we're going to set it up within 15 minutes and be ready to rock. Bruce will be playing music. Bruce is a master DJ, so he'll be playing music. And then we're going to have somebody, by the way, anybody within these 50 cities, If you know how to sing or know somebody that can sing, memorize a Patriot song, bring it, and you can sing. You can sing your Patriot song right then and there. May want to let us know ahead of time so we don't double book somebody. So then we'll do a Patriot song, and then we'll have a prayer. Don't know which order that's going to go in, and then Bruce will probably bring the local news for that area, something in the news. Hopefully something positive. It may be something negative. We don't know. We got if it's with these pillars. And then what we're going to do is we have to explain that we're united to eliminate New World control, then probably anybody in the country. And I don't think that's hyperbole to say that. He's going to see how many events he can go to, and he'll talk about the elections. And then after that, our speakers will come up and talk whatever subjects they want to, unless they're talking about one of these four, then we're going to do those in order. And then after the speakers, unfortunately for you guys, I'll probably speak, so you can leave at that moment if you choose.
No.
And then right after I speak, we're going to play the amazing song "To Unite," which I think is very powerful. And then I'm going to make sure everybody gets on the Freedom in Action app, because we can make a difference right there in our communities and with the election. And now I'm coordinating with somebody pretty powerful in regarding to the elections. I can't release the name just yet. I will tell you, though, it's going to be pretty impressive with that app. So that's going to go on. And then, we'll probably play our regular theme that we usually play here. We'll play it out while we're packing up. And then we're gone to the next one. So it will be a blast. It's all absolutely for free. None of it's costing any money. So there should be no excuses not to show up. We're doing as best we can. Yes, sometimes we're not making your city or your state. We're traveling 11,000 miles. Maybe you could travel a little bit also, but it's going to be worth your while.
It's going to be a lot of work for us, but we know that we're here to make a difference. And it's not necessarily about getting enough sleep sometimes, or getting the right food, or anything like that. Sometimes you got to get out there. And if you think about the soldiers over the years that have fought for our freedom and what they went through, this is nothing. This is a cakewalk. You know what I mean? So,
well, I can give you an idea. So Robert does on average 12 shows in a month. He'll be doing 50 in order to put on the Unity Tour. So just everybody is stepping up to a level that's just unbelievable. And I'm so blessed to have a team like this. So
dark circles under the eyes, the hair won't be combed. It'll just be, show up in my pajamas, whatnot.
Yeah. And it is what it is, right?
Come as you are. Yeah. Awesome. All right. What else do I have here? I have for you, that's the Unite. We just did that. That's good. I think we've come to the end of the most important stuff I had for today, except one thing we should do. You got your little spray handy?
Oh, I do. I sprayed it before we went on, actually, because I needed a little bit. I use this for a wake up sometimes when I'm working hard.
It does help. I mean, it does.
Yeah.
It gives you a little shock. Phoebe is absolutely in love with this spray, the Neumi Skin. It's really doing great things for her. So she said, I need more. So I just bought 4 bottles for her. Like, here you go. It's really good. So yeah, I really love this glutathione spray. And you can tell, look at Christine. Christine works on our team, by the way. You met her on Friday. She was on our show, February of 23 and February of 24 with makeup. And then in 24, no need makeup anymore. The Neumi Skin has been doing such a good job for her. It tightens the skin, removes wrinkles, does a lot of cool stuff, and it makes it very much possible that, ladies, you don't have to wear the makeup anymore. And Lewis, you don't have to wear makeup anymore either. You're doing so good without the makeup. I really love the way you look today.
Well, hey, I'm not bad for 124 years old, right?
Not bad at all. You want to find out more, go to screwbiggov.com/Neumi, screwbiggov.com/Neumi. And the Neumi Skin is not the only product they have. There's 3 other ones that you want to take a look at. The NutraSwish, the Neumi Hers, and a new one, Neuro, for your brain, which I have yet to try. I've got it, but I haven't tried it yet. So I'm not going to recommend it until I know that it's something I could stand behind, but I believe all their products are really great, so no challenge there.
We're gonna need a lot of neuro during the tour, I'll tell you that.
Oh boy, are we ever. Got to keep those brain cells firing. We're gonna have to do something to keep Bruce going too, because apparently, from what we understood after Friday's meeting, It's hard to get him out of that driver's seat. It's like he's glued there.
I've dealt with this before, and he's a great driver too, but he's such a team player. But I think it's going to be hard to pry him out of Esther. But we're gonna figure a way to do it.
11,000 miles. I don't know if his back is going to hold out for that, being in that one position all that time. That's a lot of hours behind the wheel. So I hope he does pass it off and you guys rotate a little bit.
Yeah, we will. I'm sure we will.
Anything else you'd like to share before we wrap up? We're just about on time again. I'm very proud that we're staying on time. I love it.
So I've got a lot of interviews coming up.
Okay.
In fact, tomorrow, let's see here. What do we have tomorrow? I'll be on with Ethan Lucas tomorrow at right after. I don't know if we're doing a show tomorrow. Oh yeah, I'm doing it with Alan, which is awesome.
We
so
are
I'll be on with
two
Alan Fountain
wild
tomorrow.
and crazy
Two Beach Channel, which is awesome. That's 3
guys.
p.m. Pacific, 6 Eastern. Afterwards, I'll be on with Ethan Lucas on his channel, 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern. But during the day, I'll actually be on Michael Jekyll's channel at noon, 3 p.m. Eastern. And what's really cool about that is he did this interview with Nathan Reynolds, which was phenomenal, guys. I haven't seen an interview like this in forever. I would recommend going and watching that. It's on Rumble. In fact, I think I even posted it. I posted it on Telegram, so you guys could go to Telegram and click on it. But when this guy was talking, I saw something, I heard something, and then I had a feeling it was a download, and I did calculations, and I was blown away with what I found. So I'm going to cover that tomorrow. In fact, I told Michael's wife, Tracy Joe, that. She's like, you're teasing me. And I go, nope, I'm not going to let it out. She's like, well, why don't you just tell me, right? But so that's going to be covered tomorrow live with Jaco. And I think it will blow you away when I make these two connections together.
Wow.
It was epic.
Okay, now I got to watch. What can I do? I got to watch. You teased me.
Yep.
You teased me enough. I got to go. Well, thank you, my friend. You're a good super co-host. I appreciate you and appreciate everyone who watches. And make sure you remember to follow our channel. It's one of those things that really helps us with the algorithm. And give it a thumbs up. If you like what you see, please share it with your friends and followers. We appreciate that as well.